Good afternoon, Sappanna. Good afternoon, Anmol. Good afternoon, all. So let us take the attendance first. Then we'll move on for the lectures. So Subham is there. Subham.
Present, sir.
Subham. All right.
Present, sir.
Abratam. Abratam. Abratam is there. Lille. Lille. Very good. Okay. Sampanna.
Yes, sir.
Sampanna. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Genetu. Ravi is there. Ravi.
Yes, sir.
Ravi.
Yes, sir.
Sandesh.
Present,
Sandesh.
sir.
Neeraj.
Present,
Neeraj.
sir.
Anmol. Sarika.
Yes, sir.
Present, sir.
Sarika is there. Regina.
Present, sir.
Rohit.
Yes, sir.
Sunil.
Present, sir.
Assis.
Present, sir.
Sabij.
Yes, sir.
Taufik. Ibrahim. Dipayan. Dhara.
Yes, sir.
Sianedi. Sianedi. Penangewa. Fadili. Hiba. Maya. Maya. Rama. Yarab. Alid. Haider. Azam.
Yes, sir. I am Yarab.
Azam. Angam. Angam. Ali Habib. Ali Mehboob.
Ali Mehboob here, sir.
Hussein Salame. Haider Saloom.
Yes,
Waha
sir. I'm
Khadur.
Hussein Salami.
Waha Khadur. Adam. Ibrahim. Ahmed Mala. Ahmed Ali Yusuf. Ali Zulfikar Muhammad Ali. Ibrahim Asad. Anas Ahmed. Yusuf. Ali Lolo. Isa Abbas. Zafar Ahmed. Mahmoud Al-Sri. Ahmed Hassan. All right. Okay. So move on for the next topics today. So we have completed three theorems of compound statements, like as I told on the last day, it's known as De Morgan's law, associative law, and absorption's law. All right. After that, we have solved some problems regarding that also. So today we are going to start uh, validity of an argument. Validity of an argument. So first of all, we need to know what is an argument. Then we will talk about the validity, how mathematically we can check the validity of any argument. So what is an argument? Arguments means it's a finite sequence of statements. Finite sequence of statements A1, A2, A3 up to AN. A sequence of statements. Okay. That means what? That means if we are in some conversation, with some other person, so two persons doing some conversations, or three persons doing some conversation, group conversation, or four persons, doesn't matter. So while we are doing some conversation or talking to each other, at that point of time, we release some statements. That each and every statements are known as that particular uh, sequence of these statements. Okay. every sequence of every statements till from a1 till an minus 1, all the statements is known as the discussion, of the argument. And the last one, an is actually known as the conclusion. An is actually known as the conclusion of the statement. So all in all, so total we have n number of statement. Among n number of statements, first n minus 1 statements is a discussion statement, and all others and the last one is actually known as the conclusions. So all together with the discussion and the conclusions, we have an argument. All together we have an argument. So this is known as an argument. Now we are going to discuss about this argument, okay, and what is the validity of the argument. All right. Just a minute. So to check the validity of the argument, we can say that a1, first of all, we will take the conjunction of the first n minus 1 statement. So conjunction of first n minus 1 means a1 and a2 and a3 up to and an minus 1. So I'm taking the conjunction of all n minus 1 statements, okay, with a conditional with implication to an. An is the conclusion. With implication to an is the conclusion. So all together, this is a compound statement. All together, this is going to be a compound statement. This whole thing is going to be a compound statement. This whole thing is a compound statement. Now, if this compound statement, try to understand, if this compound statement is a tautology, if we have some argument, and in that particular argument, if this compound statement is going to be a tautology, then only we can say that our argument is going to be a valid argument. If it is not a tautology, doesn't matter whatever it is, our argument is not a valid argument. To have a valid argument, first of all, the structure of the argument is something like this one. We will write like this manner: a1, a2 up to an minus 1, then one straight line like this manner, and hence therefore a, there will be a sign therefore a. This is the whole structure of an argument. This is the whole structure of an argument. Now, while we are having an argument, that doesn't mean that this is a valid argument. So we have to check whether this argument is a valid argument or not, or invalid. How to check? We can check by applying the basic mathematical law, that is a1 and a2 and a3 up to n minus 1 implies an. This is a compound statement. This compound statement is going to be a tautology. If it is a tautology, then our argument is a valid argument. If it is not a tautology, then argument is not a valid argument. All right.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, in short, can you explain again?
In short, shall I give some examples? Better to do some with some examples, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Let us go for examples, then it's going to be better. All right. So, Shubham, please switch on your mute. Mute you on. All right. So some well-known arguments are actually important for your exam purpose. So there are few well-known arguments. There are well-known valid arguments, not only arguments, well-known valid arguments. Now let us give you some argument. The first argument is actually is the method of affirming. Method of affirming. So method of affirming is the first argument, and it's a valid argument. So we will give you some specific valid arguments. Total 8 valid arguments is there. Okay, and what we will ask you in exam, we will ask you explain method of affirming. We will ask you like this: explain method of affirming in 4 marks. So you have to memorize what is method of affirming. Method of affirming is this one: A1, A2. There are 2 discussion statements and 1 conclusion statement. So 2 discussion statements and 1 conclusion statements. So what is the discussion? Discussion between 2 persons. So first person is A1, second person is A2. All right, 2 persons is discussing. So first person is saying that P implies Q. First person is saying that P implies Q. Second person is saying P. Second person is saying P. Automatically, what the conclusion? The conclusion is means third person. Third person is saying only the conclusions. Okay, just he is the person. The third person is the person that he is going to be. He will not taking any part in discussion. He will not take any part in discussion, but what he will do, he is a judge kind of stuff. He is a judge and he will do some conclusion. And what is our target? Our target is whether the judgment is a valid or not. Judgment is valid or not, that is what we are going to check. If the judgment is valid, then the whole argument is a valid argument. All right, so what is the all stuff here? Here few people are actually discussing something or debate competition. You can assume that we are arranging some debate competition. So in debate competition, there are few people that are doing debate on particular topic, and one judge is there. So the judge is actually doing some conclusion statement. Okay, after having all those statements, we will decide the whole argument. The whole argument is a valid argument or not. All right, now we know how to decide. The first one is P implies Q. The second one is, second statement is P, and the third conclusion statement is Q. Now let us give you some example. It is a valid. Why it is valid? Why it is a valid? You can easily prove it with an example. Suppose 2 persons are discussing. First person is saying that if, okay, that means if P implies Q means what? If P then Q, right? So first person is saying if we don't have any calculator, if we don't have any calculator, then we cannot appear for exam. We cannot appear for exam. So the first person is saying if we don't have any calculator, then we cannot appear for exam. All right. Second person is saying, second person A2 is saying that we don't have any calculator. He is only saying that we don't have any calculator. We don't have any calculator. So now after listening these 2 sentences, what the judge do? Okay, judge or the third person, he is stating the conclusion statement. The conclusion statement is that we cannot appear for exam. The conclusion statement is that we cannot appear for exam. Right. Clear to all? The thing is that concerning these two statements, this is A1, this is A2. Concerning of these two statements, what is the first statement? If we do not have any calculator, then we cannot appear for exam. First person is saying. The second person is saying we don't have any calculator. So automatically what? Automatically the third person is he can conclude that we cannot appear for exam because we don't have calculator. So ultimately, if I look all this scenario, this argument is a valid argument because whatever judge is stating, that is correct. All right. So this argument is going to be a valid argument. So now we will going to check the same thing using mathematical manner. So mathematically, what we have to show, we have to prove that no, why the conclusion is we don't have any calculator? Why? In this case, you can check. Anmol, what is my concern is you can check. We can have the conclusion. We can have that conclusion. We don't have any calculator. Then is it valid or not? You can check through the mathematical manner. Okay, so in that case, you are saying that if it is not Q, then it is P. Let's say it's P. Then you can check it using a mathematical manner. You can check it whether it is valid or not. If it is a valid, then your concern is right. Yes, we can check everything using truth table. Okay, we will check. Anmol, we will check everything as per your opinion. So first, this is your A1. We will do conjunction of A1 and A2. So conjunction of A1 and A2 with a conditional or implication with the conclusion statement. The conclusion statement is Q. So this is called method of affirming. So if someone asks you in the method of affirming, we have to use this one only, this argument only. We cannot change it anywhere. We have to use this argument only. This is called method of affirming. Now, this is your truth table. Truth table means we have two input statements like this one, true, 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 false, false, true, false, false. Then we will calculate P implies Q. Then we'll calculate P implies Q and P. And the last one is the main output. That is, this is suppose X, then X implies Q is the main output. All right. So finally, what actually we are getting? Let's check. So P implies Q is going to be TFTT. P implies Q is going to be TFTT, and P implies Q and P is going to be TFFF. All right. Now let's check. P implies Q and P implies Q is going to be all true. All right. Since the output is all true, so that means this is going to be a tautology. Since this is a tautology, it is a tautology. Since this is a tautology, we can easily say that our argument method of affirming is a valid argument. Our argument method of affirming is a valid argument. Okay. Now the same manner I will check as Anmol asked. As Anmol asked me that if I change this output Q to P, let's change the output Q to P. Okay, let's change this output Q to P. So I will change only here. Instead of P, I will write, instead of Q, I will write P. So let's check. So this one is the conditional statement and this one is the conclusion. So what we have, TTT, FTT, FFT, FFT. That means again it's all are true. So Anmol, your conclusion is also right. That is also a valid argument. That is also a valid argument because A1 is saying P, A2 is saying P. So why not P is true? P obviously is true. All right. Okay, so this type of things we can check like that manner. So if someone asks you in exam, state or explain method of affirming, you have to explain like this manner. First, you have to memorize this concept. What is method of affirming? This is method of affirming. And more, here you cannot change Q, instead of Q you cannot change P, because this is method of affirming. The well-known name is there. Method of affirming means P implies Q, P hence Q. This is a valid argument. We can prove it using truth table. Proof is not a big matter. You can easily prove it. But the thing is that you have to memorize this particular argument. That is the biggest task. Okay. Hope you understand all this stuff. So we'll proceed further. Go for the next method. Method name is method of denying. Denying something. Method of denying. So method of denying means A1 first person is saying P implies Q. That means what? That means it's also a valid argument. So first person is saying if, let's the same thing. If we don't have any calculator, then we cannot appear for exam. Second person, this is a statement of first person. Second person is saying that not Q. Not Q means we appear for exam. Second person is saying we can appear for exam. We can appear for exam. Second person is saying we can appear for exam. That means what? Second person is saying we can appear for exam. That means what? Obviously, the second person is very much confident. That means obviously we have a calculator. That means what? The conclusion, we have a calculator. That's why we can appear. We can appear for exam, because if we don't have any calculator, we cannot appear for exam. The first person is saying. Second person is saying we can appear for exam. That means what? Automatically implies that we have a calculator, unless you are doing any cheating. Okay, so automatically not P is the valid conclusion. That means this is going to be a valid argument. The whole argument is going to be a valid argument. All right, so again the same stuff you have to check. Now your task to check it, okay, and check that this one is the tautology. While you are done with that, say done on chat box. I will check your work. Okay, so complete this stuff and say done on chat box. Start now. Check whether it is a tautology or not. Say done. It's a tautology, but say done on chat box after completion. All right, it's an easy task to do. Hope all of you have completed. Yes, it's look like this manner. So we have two variables, two input variables, like P and Q. So we'll go for not P first, since not P is the conclusion, not Q is the second. Then go for P implies Q. Go for this is suppose your A and this is B, A and B, or you may say X and Y, X and Y. That's all. This is your X, this is your Y, X and Y, and this is your A. A implies B. E means your not P. A implies B. Right? Okay, so ultimately it's a tautology. Since it's a tautology, so we can justify this valid argument. Okay, so this is the second valid argument, well-known valid argument, that is known as method of denying. So someone can ask you what is method of denying. You have to write it this manner. All right. Go for the next one, named as dilemma. So dilemma is actually, we are having three statements as discussion. Three discussion statements in dilemma and one conclusion. Three discussion statements. The first person is saying P or Q. The first person is saying P or Q. Second person is saying P implies Q. Second person is saying P implies, sorry, R. Second person is saying P implies R. And the third person is saying Q implies R. So final conclusion is simple, should be R. That's a valid argument. Right. So again, if I look for some example. So the first person is saying either will go for college, go to college. Either will go to college, or will go for, or will attend cultural program. Okay, the first person is saying something like either will go to college or we will attend cultural program. Second person is saying, second person A2 is saying, if we go to college, we have to, then we have to carry our I-card. If we go to college, then we have to carry our I-card. Third person is saying A3, if we go for cultural program, then we have to carry our I-card. So listening all this stuff, the judge or the judgment person is saying that, the conclusion person is saying that in any case you have to carry the I-card. Listening all the three particular statement, the first person is saying either will go to college or will go to attend cultural program, right? Second person is saying if we go to college, then we have to carry an I-card, our I-card. Third person is saying, if we go to cultural program, then also we have to carry our I-card. That means what? Listening all three discussion statements, fourth person, the conclusion person or the judge or the judgment person is saying that in any case you have to carry your I-card. That is your conclusion. The conclusion is we have to carry your I-card. Alright? This is called the dilemma. Okay? Slight confusion. Dilemma means slight confusion. First person is slightly confused whether to go or not. Okay? So this type of argument is known as a valid argument. Now we will prove this is a valid argument. So here, yes, again you have your task right now. You have to show this is a valid argument, so that this is a tautology, that particular conjunction with the implication one. It's a tautology, you have to prove it. Prove that using truth table. I'll give you 5 minutes for that, and later on say done on chat box. Start. All right, I think many of you has been completed. Yeah, it should be 3 variables. 3 variables means we have 8 possible combinations, input combinations, right? So 8 possible input combinations. It look like this manner. But check it. The conclusion of this particular question is something like that. We have 3 variables, like first one is P and Q and R, then go for P or Q. This is your X, suppose. P implies R, this is your Y, suppose. Q implies R, this is your Z, suppose. So now after that we will go for X and Y and Z. So while we are going for X and Y and Z, what you have to check? You have to check that in this particular 3 columns, when all 3 are true, only when all 3 are true, then the output is true. Otherwise, everywhere it is going to be false. Output is true only when all 3 are true. Otherwise, it is going to be false. This is the way we can judge multiple variable conjunction system. Okay. So apart from that, everything is quite easy. And like final one is going to be all true. And be careful. Your target, we know that your target will be to show that this is a tautology. So output, sometimes students do that. First of all, they start this stuff and they put all output is true. That's okay, very good, no problem. But we will always inside table also. If somehow we find that the inside one is actually wrong, your output is correct, still we will give you 0 marks because your whole table is wrong. All right, so don't make this type of mistake, because this table is important. Only this thing is important in this particular unit. All right, so be careful while you are doing this truth table. Instead of truth, don't make it false. Okay. So next one, hypothetical syllogism. Next one is hypothetical syllogism. Look like a transitive property. Simple, very simple. Yes, Sunny, actually. Lots of students are there actually. Like, look, they did this kind of stuff many times. So what is hypothetical syllogism? We have 2 statements. So first person is saying that P implies Q. Second person is saying that Q implies R. So the judge or the conclusion statement is P implies R. This is quite easier to understand because it's going to be a transitive property kind of stuff. So if the first person is saying, if we cannot have any calculator, then we cannot, or we don't have, if we don't have any calculator, then we cannot appear for exam. Second person is saying, if we cannot appear for exam, then we cannot, or we don't get certificate. We don't get certificate. All right, we don't get certificate. That means there's 2 statements. The first person is saying, if we don't have any calculator, then we cannot appear for exam. Second person is saying, if we cannot appear for the exam, then we don't get certificate. So what's the conclusion? The third person is saying that, oh, that means what? If we don't have any calculator, then we don't get our certificate. All right, this is the conclusion. If we don't have any calculator, then we don't get our certificate. All right, so this type of hypothetical statement is known as hypothetical syllogism. This is a hypothetical argument. All right, it's known as hypothetical syllogism, and it is a valid argument. Now your task, again same task, go for it. prove that this is a valid argument using truth table and say done on chat box. Ravi, you have to prove this one. That is given. Okay. Now you have to prove this one. Right. I think many of you have completed. Let's check the answer. So again, three variables P, Q, R. First, we'll go for P implies Q, Q implies R, and P implies R. This is your X, this is your Y. So we'll go for X and Y. And this is your A, this is your B. So we'll go for A implies B. Alright. So again, you can check it. Final output is going to be all true. All true means it's tautology. Since the final output is a tautology, so this is a valid argument. So hypothetical syllogism is a valid argument. Okay. So in exam, we can ask you in 6 marks also. We can ask you explain hypothetical syllogism. So you have to memorize this concept. What is the particular argument? No one will give you that argument in exam. We will just give you that name of the argument, hypothetical syllogism. After that, everything you have to memorize and write back in your exam. Okay. Now for the next argument, is known as disjunction syllogism. Disjunction syllogism. Yes, Ashish. Want to say something? Yes. Check it.
Sir, in the
Yes.
last row of P to R, it is false, right?
PR. Or
Yes,
P to R.
third last row.
P to R.
Third last row.
No, it's true.
No,
Okay, but
opposite
that
there.
previous. Okay, yeah, it should
Yeah,
be
yeah.
true. It should be true.
True.
Sorry.
Yes.
Thanks for the update. Okay. Anything else, Ashish? Anything
No.
else? Any
No,
else?
sir.
Okay. Thanks for the correction. Disjunction syllogism. It's quite easier to understand disjunction syllogism. First of all, first person is saying P or Q. So first person is confused between two parts, either P or Q. Okay. Second person is saying that not P. So while second person is saying that not P, that means automatically Q is true. So that not P or Q and not P implies Q. That is known as a valid argument, and this is going to be a disjunction syllogism. Disjunction syllogism. The first part is a disjunction, and the total argument is a syllogism. That's why it's a disjunction syllogism. And similarly, Second part of this is in P or Q. Second person is saying that not Q, obviously then P is true. So that is all a valid argument, and you can easily check it. So don't need to check it right now because it's quite easier to check. Now we'll go for some other valid argument that also important in your exam. Just note it down, all the others. Number 6, note down number 6, addition. Number 6 is addition. So first person is saying P, and only one person is there, that is P. The conclusion is P or Q. Conclusion is P or Q. So this is a valid argument. You can check it up also. This is a valid argument. And why it's known as addition? Because we are adding some another statements. So only one person is saying that P is true. So the conclusion is that okay, either P is true or some other things true. Ultimate, we are not denying with that person. That means why? That's why this is going to be a valid argument. Okay. Number 7th. Number 7th is conjunction. Number 7th is conjunction. So what conjunction tells us? First person is saying P, second person is saying Q, and the conclusion is P and Q. It is quite easy, like a simple conjunction. It's same like that manner only. Person is saying P, second person is saying Q, and the conclusion is P and Q. All right. And the next one, number 8, the last one is known as simplification. Number 8 is known as simplification. Note it down. So what is simplification? Only one person. So first person is saying that P and Q. So first person is saying that P and Q. Hence the conclusion is P. So someone is saying P and Q. So from that only extract one sentence, one statement, that is P or Q, whatever. This is, we are simplifying that statement. That means this is known as simplification. So this is simplification argument, and this is going to be valid arguments. These all are the very easy valid argument, well-known valid arguments. We can ask this stuff in exam. Number 6, generative, is the addition. Generative number 6 is addition, means we are adding one extra statement. Okay, suppose you say me that sir, we don't have any lecture today. You tell me that we don't have any lecture today. Okay, and I'm not confident enough with your words. Okay, I don't know whether you are saying true or false. So what is the conclusion? As a judge, what is the conclusion? I will judge you. So my conclusion is that okay, either there will be no lectures today, or we can have exam today, like that. That means I'm not denying you. I am not denying you, but also I'm adding something. That means the all in all, your part of statement is correct, and my conclusion also approve your part of statement. That is why this is known as addition, and that's why this is going to be a valid argument. Okay, I am not ignoring you, or I am not denying you. That is the main part. That's why this is going to be a valid argument. All right, Genatu. Okay, Q is any statement we can bring. Any statement we can bring, because I am not denying you. And also we cannot put and. We cannot put and over here. We can put or over here. We cannot put and over here, because if I put and, that means somehow I denying you, or partially I'm denying you. I cannot deny you. Okay. All right. That's all. Note it down. Now we'll go for example. That's all about the theory part today. We'll go for some examples now. Okay, it's completed. Let's stop the recording now.